What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. It seems like Russell Westbrook is affected by the hatred from the LA Lakers fans. Lakers fans have been, shamming his name in regards to, the comments that he made. And he feels like it's just unjust hatred. And, I always say this when it comes to situations like this. It's not good to slander anybody's name or anything like that, but this is basketball. People are going to say what they say. People are going to, have their own opinions, and fans are going to lash out when you're not winning, especially when it's an organization that wins. And I can understand Russell Westbrook's point about the situation, but at the same time, you're playing this game to win. And the LA fans don't feel like you're playing it to your best ability to help the Lakers win. When you hear Russell Westbrook in post game say, "Oh, it's just a game," I didn't come here with no expectations and things like that, just the pass off, nevertheless type attitude mentality. Those are the type things that LA fans don't deal with, because they don't want to be looked at as losers. And when you think of California, when you think of Hollywood, when you think of just California as a whole, you don't think of a losing state. You don't think of losers. You think California as winners. I mean, California has always been a winning state, if you think about it. I mean, from every sport, really. Any sport you could think of, baseball, basketball, football, there's always been multiple champions from each sport. So when you have a player like Russell Westbrook who comes here to LA and is all about stats and not winning and saying all these wrong things or saying these things in the media, that comes off like, it's just a passive aggressive attitude, or, it's just a game, and, I didn't have no expectations coming here and things like that. It rubs people the wrong way. And that's what Russell Westbrook has to understand. I definitely understand, Russell Westbrook's point of, if the slander went too far about, his children and his family and things like that. Now, of course, that's on a different level. I don't think it should go that far. I definitely think that's not good, but this is the type of backlash you get, or you're going to get, when you come to LA, because here is all about winning, and that's what it's all about. And it comes with a price to be in Hollywood. It comes with a price to be in LA. And I don't think Russell Westbrook knew what came with that. He thought he could just probably come and everything will be fine. And if they go on a little losing streak or something like that, or, whatever the case may be, he thought everything would be peaches and cream, but it's not, especially when you're losing at the clip that you're losing. And a lot of people are blaming you for the reason why the Lakers aren't flourishing or ascending the way they should. They feel like a lot of your bad habits have rubbed off on LeBron and AD, even though I can't fully blame, Russell Westbrook for everything. But, with the non-mentality of winning, it definitely rubs a lot of people the wrong way in LA Nation or the locker room itself. And I definitely could see why, because, when you think about a player like Russell Westbrook, you think about how great he is, but you think about how great he is stats wise. You don't think about how great he is in winning championships, because he's never done that. He's been on he's played with a lot of great players. He really has. And he's been blessed to play with a lot of great players, if you ask me. But not winning a championship with all the great players you played with, it only makes you look one way. And I know it's LeBron's fault, the reason why that Russell Westbrook is in LA. But at the same time, Russell Westbrook has to hold his own weight. He has to carry his own weight. You have to be able to go out there and dominate when your numbers called upon and be the best player you can be. And that's what the Lakers are looking for out of you, and you haven't shown that. And I personally think Russell Westbrook has lost a step a little bit, over time. He's been in the league 14, 15 years now. Some of his athleticism is not there like it once was, but at the same time, he's not making an impact in a way that Lakers fans hope that he would. But I definitely understand that, any slander towards your family or anything like that is definitely not a good look, definitely not a good thing. And I definitely understand that. But this is what comes with being in LA. You got to win. People will go crazy if you don't win, because LA is so much, high predicated on winning and betting and a lot of money money involved, things like that, you have to find a way to be effective. You know what I'm saying? You have to find a way to win. And when you have a Lakers team with this much talent and you're a part of it as Russell Westbrook, you hold a lot of responsibility of the reason why the Lakers are not where they are, because of your turnovers. And when they call Russell Westbrook Westbrick, well, they call you that because you can't shoot. You can't space the floor. You've been in the league for 14 years and your jump shot looks just as worse as it did 14 years ago. And it's just not good enough when you see a lot of other players over time have developed. I mean, you can even take somebody like Derrick Rose. Look at Derrick Rose. How much has he has went through a lot of injuries, not the player he once was, but how has he revamped his game? Now he's got a jump shot. And now when you look at Derrick Rose, you be like, man, I wish he still had some of his athleticism with his jump shot. But of course, he's not going to have that anyway by now because he's, older and he's been through a lot and things like that. But you have to evolve with the game. And that's what LA fans look at. LA fans want players that evolve with the game and have a high basketball IQ. And having a high basketball IQ makes you a better player over time because it allows you to understand basketball from a different perspective and play on a different level, even though you might not be as athletic as you used to be, or, whatever the case may be. But it makes you understand the game from a different level, and it makes you become effective in other ways to have an effect on the game that gives you the outcome of winning. And that's something that Russell Westbrook doesn't have. And when you look at all that he's going through and the slander and everything like that, it's not warranted if it's going too far, but some of it is warranted because, you're coming to Hollywood and you want the bright lights, but you don't want what comes with it, the good and the bad. And that's the problem with a lot of people, a lot of players. They can't play for the Los Angeles Lakers because they're not willing to accept the good and the bad that comes with it. When you want to live in the bright lights, you got to show up. You got to perform. You've got to play at your highest level. You can't go out there and halfway, play the game to a level of, okay, I'm just out here playing to be playing and I'm just doing my thing and that's it. And you go home and go to sleep and come back the next day like it's a regular job. That's not the way LA fans want you to perceive it. That's not the way they want you to look at the game from your lens. They want you to look at it like this is a career. This is my life. This is what I'm here for. I'm born to do this, like that. That's what they want. And they want guys with those type of mentalities because everybody that is played or wore that purple and gold uniform has had that mentality before Russell Westbrook. So the slander and everything he's getting for Westbrook, he definitely deserves that part. Now, like I said before, if it's anything going towards his family, things like that, I don't agree with that because that's a little too far. But what I'm saying is the slander that he gets for himself, he should be fine with that, because the reason why people call him Westbrick because he can't spread the floor. He can't shoot and he's not effective in a lot of ways. And he's just like a third guy out there. He doesn't look like a third superstar out there. And that's definitely not going to bode well for the Lakers because they got him with the intention of, with them three being playing at their highest, they can beat anybody in the league. And that's not been the case. And Russell Westbrook has been one of the fall guys for that situation, even though Anthony Davis could be one too because he's not healthy enough to play. And when he is playing, he's not playing like a top 10 player in the league. So, but Russell Westbrook is the target in the situation because Anthony Davis won a championship along with LeBron. So though there's only one guy on there, one superstar on there that hasn't won a championship, and that's Russell Westbrook. So, I definitely see the reason why the slander is coming his way. And I definitely see the reason why, a lot of this is starting to affect him. But, if the slander's coming your way, you got to do something about it. You can't sit there and make it seem like the world's coming to an end. You've got to go out there and play better because these people in LA expect winning. They don't expect stats. Stats is for losers. Winning is for the winners, the elite guys, the guys that sit on Mount Rushmore and those type things. And that's the type of players that the Lakers and LA is used to. So unless you can become one of those types, or at least play like you're one of those, type of players to where, show your greatness again and allow yourself to flourish and develop your game even more, even though, Russell Westbrook doesn't have the athleticism that he used to, unless he's going to do something like that, it's just going to continue to be the same thing until, he's ridden out of town. And that's just the way it looks for Russell Westbrook and his situation. And he really shouldn't pout about it, because that nevertheless attitude that you have is not helping the Lakers, and is really rubbing LeBron and the rest of the organization the wrong way. And nobody's really, paying attention to you to that extent, So right now, like I said, it looks bad. It's not good. And, Lakerland is really, really on a downslide, and have been not 90% of the season, all the season just about. But as for Russell Westbrook, you got to elevate your game. You got to sit there and you got to become a better shooter. You got to be valuable in ways where you weren't in the past. And that's what it comes down to. Maybe if he knew how to spread the floor and shoot a little bit better and don't brick so many shots all the time, maybe the Lakers would win more games. And possibly they would, because the defenses would have to respect Russell Westbrook more because his jumper. But they don't, because he doesn't have one. And it's almost as if when you hear him in post games, it's like he's not even working on his game. It's like he's not even trying to evolve his game into another level to be more effective for the Lakers, which is the reason why he's getting all this criticism. And he doesn't want to take it, and he doesn't want to hear it. But this is what comes with being in LA. This is why everybody can't be here. And with that being said, that's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to continue unless Russell Westbrook, can make some changes here in the next several games, which I don't see it happening. But if it doesn't, I think he'll be gone by next year. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section as always. And hey, Khaliis out.